UKIP's immigration policy makes sense, but the way it's presented, the way we're presented, is somewhat disturbing in many cases. The idea of a cap on immigration is preposterous. We need to control immigration. We need to wake up and realize that this country has fallen into a crevice with skills for the young people. It's going to take us another decade, 5, maybe 10, maybe 15, maybe 20 years until our youngsters, our country, is up to scratch again with the skills, until we can compete with the rest of the world who have their skilled technicians in place, who have their skilled draftsmen in place, who have their skilled engineers in place. In that time, I ask you, the nation, what are we going to do for skills and training? We have fallen into the crevice. We have fallen deep into the crevice. Our youth, our youngsters are not up to scratch. They have no real training in skills and technology. They've gone to the wall. We cannot even advocate for our youth when they finish university. They're told to study, work hard, get your degrees. Degrees that mean nothing these days. Give them a break. In that time, until we can create industry, trade, technology. In that time, employers need to take on and give visas to people with the skills, the education, the ambition, and the drive to keep the economy going and national industry going in this country. Until then, please, somebody tell me, what are we going to do? Sit down and rot? Come on. We need the skills and training from other countries. When their visa has expired, then that's what you call controlled immigration. Once your visa is expired, it's time for you to go. Or you can renew your visa under the right rules and regulations. But at the moment, I advocate for people who have skills and the technology they can introduce to this country we must not turn our backs on it.
Well, the immigration issue is a huge issue, but broadly, we're not anti-immigration. Some immigration is good. However, it must be controlled and managed, and our policies will control and manage it. Now, you mentioned a quota, the government quota on non-EU. The reality here is that they're being dishonest in the sense that because we're in the European Union, we cannot control the numbers from the EU. Millions more could come in. If Turkey joins, it will be millions more coming into our country. Our population has ballooned. We've had 3 million legal, 1 million illegal since Labour came to power in '97, and our population has gone up, and it's heading for 70 million and more. This is about space, not race. What we want is just sensible limits, sensible controls. We want work permits for everyone, not just non-EU. It actually discriminates against the Commonwealth, and that's very wrong. We're throwing out Indian doctors, for example, while we're letting in unqualified doctors from the EU, and we've had some tragic cases. Dr. Barney was one of those cases recently, where we've let loose unqualified doctors on our people, and it's led to tragic consequences. So basically, common sense.
Oh, I mean, look, the government position on immigration is completely untenable. The idea that you can put a limit on it is nonsense, given, of course, the fact that not just the 26 countries have total open rights of access, but they themselves can decide who comes into their countries and then in turn can come to us. So just look at what's happening with Bulgaria and Romania, giving Montenegrins and Moldovans hundreds of thousands of passports this year alone. There's also a free trade deal being negotiated as we speak between the European Union and India, and of course part of that deal is total free movement of people from India into the European Union. So any argument that this coalition has got that it can control immigration or it wants to control immigration is disappearing fast.
We don't control our borders. The reason we don't control our borders is that we belong to the European Union. It's as simple as that. The last government did indeed ease up the barriers on immigration in 1997, there were various changes to the administration of the system as it was then. There was no announcement, it didn't go through Parliament, it was totally anti-democratic. But the truth is that since 1997, the European Union has itself expanded with the addition of all these countries in Eastern Europe. Many of the people who have come to Britain in the last 5 or 10 years have come from Eastern Europe. Of course, we must integrate them and welcome them now that they're here. They should never have come here in the first place. The way we can restore control of our borders is to leave the European Union, and only in that way can we stop mass immigration.